taught a lesson here during one of our Saturday night classes in the science of living titled, I Meet No One But Me. And this will blow some of your minds here again today. But do you know you meet no one but you? The person that's mean and nasty to you, that's you. That is some facet of your own thought. Even the dog that bites you is you. The dog that bites you is the incarnation of some negative belief that you have about yourself. Wow, 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 wow. There was something in you that drew that dog to you. The mugger that snatches your pocketbook is some facet of your own thought process. Oh, wow. Back to happiness for a moment. You're only going to find the happiness in other people that you first of all have found within your own being. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with anybody else. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with the second husband or the second wife. Wow. And here again, in my counseling people who are about to get married, and I see a beautiful couple down here who are about to get married. I call them my lovebirds because they're so loving. And so I pass this on to them, and I pass this on to all of you. Do you know, it's a wonderful thing to find someone and fall in love with them. But be careful that you do not think that it is someone else's responsibility to make you happy. Do not give someone else the responsibility for your happiness, and do not blame anyone else for your misery. Uh-oh. As long as you think that someone else is responsible for your happiness and to blame for your misery, you're always going to be unhappy and miserable. Wow. So it's not that old so-and-so that makes you unhappy and miserable. You have got to get to work within your own self and find your happiness. Now, to move on quickly. You're not going to be happy with anything until you find happiness within yourself. You're not going to be happy anywhere until you find the happiness within your own self. If you're a miserable person, you'll be miserable wherever you go. If you have found your happiness within yourself, you will be happy wherever you go. Now to go into home stretch. And I want to ask the question and answer it. How can I be happy? And ushers, I'm going to ask all of you to please ask the congregation not to move from this point on in the service. If anyone attempts to move, trip them up for me. We have to have a laugh here. Now let us consider the question, how can I be happy? And let us ask ourselves this question out loudly. Come on. How can I be happy? And here it is, you may want to write this. This is how you can be happy. Realize that you have the power to be happy already within you. The word realize. Realize that you have the power to be happy already within you. The text which we read states, in thy presence is fullness of joy. What does this mean? It means that this divine presence which dwells in you already contains the fullness of joy which you need. The text, in thy presence is fullness of joy, means that I have the power power to be happy already within me. And I'm going to give this to you for an affirmation. Let's shout it together. I have the power to be happy already within me. Let's say it together again, and then I'm going to have you write it. I have the power to be happy already within me. Oh, when you realize that, in thy presence is fullness of joy. This divine presence which dwells within me, this divine presence in which I dwell, is my ability, my capability of happiness, of joy, and of pleasures forevermore. Now, my dear people, when you find the power of happiness within you, you will then create your own happiness. When you find the power of happiness within your own being, within your own mind, then you will draw happy people to you. And I'm going to tell you good women something, because you know the women are always writing to me and coming to me for counseling, telling me what mean husbands they have. Let me warn you about something. If you go around with unhappiness in your heart and feeling bad and feeling miserable all the time, that's exactly the kind of men you're going to draw into your life. You're going to draw into your life those men, those kind of people that are going to contribute to your continual misery and unhappiness. The same thing, fellas. Whatever mental states you entertain within your own consciousness will draw unto you people like unto themselves. Here again, the mastermind taught us, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. That's negative or positive, you know. If you lift up being miserable, if you lift up being unhappy and unsad, if you lift up that idea of unhappiness and sadness and misery in your mind, you'll draw people to you that will make you sad and miserable and unhappy. And you'll go around like sad sack. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. You don't have to ride this train. If you don't want to shout, you don't have to shout. If you don't want to shout, you don't have to shout. If you don't want to shout, you don't have to shout. You don't have to ride this train. If you don't want to clap, you don't